What's going on, drivers? It is your boy Ghost Rider. I am back. I've been gone for a little while, on and off the road due to military duty, and I had some things going on and with the family I had to get squared away. But I am here at Jonestown Terminal in Pennsylvania, and as you can see, it's kind of sort of starting to melt, but not too bad. I'm just on the visitor side. I'm not actually in the gate. I just came back in today because I'm going back on the road on Monday. So came in to get my truck cleaned up and hook up to an empty so I can get rolling. And one of the things that I said that I was going to do in this, I guess you can say, new year, we're 2 months into it now, was learn how to slide my fifth wheel. Before I get into that, I want to give a shout out to Ty DeGreat for graduating the Swift Driving Academy. I believe he said the 25th of January. So awesome accomplishment, man. I don't know what terminal you're in, but hit me up on my email, coolbmoretrucking@gmail. Let me know what terminal you're at. If you're at Jonestown, we might run into each other a few times. And I'd be more than happy if you got some questions, to help you along the way as best as I can, or point you in the right direction. I also want to, and I'm going to, there was another person on there, Vantine, I can't pronounce your name, but you asked me some questions about what you should do because you're about to go to the academy. Oh, sorry about that, roll my window up. You're about to go to the academy in Richmond, and what are some of the things that you should do? What are some of the recommendations that I have for you? So, number one recommendation, all right, number one, before you even get to the academy, all right, and I'm just saying this because I had a roommate when I was at the academy that wasn't clean. So, if you are an individual that smokes, takes drugs, you need to be clean first and foremost. And I mean, you should be clean like I would say even a year, 2 years out. That's number one. Make sure that you're healthy, because when you go to do your medical stuff, if you've already done it, I don't know if the Richmond Academy has changed this, but I know when I went, I did my medical stuff before I went to the academy, and then we had to do it again through Concentra. So get with your recruiter and see if that is still the thing, because it might just be better for you to wait, or see if there's a Concentra in your area that Swift will use and do your medical stuff. But make sure that you're healthy. That was one of the things that got a few of my classmates kicked out. They had sleep apnea. They had some other breathing conditions. I mean, I have asthma, but it doesn't affect me. Just overall, make sure you're healthy. Make sure you're healthy and clean. I can't stress that enough. And I probably said it 1,000 times within the first 4 minutes of this video. But once you get into the academy itself, just the number one thing to do is two number one things to do is, first, follow the instructions of your instructors. Mark, you got Mark in the classroom. You've got Cowboy, instructor Eric, instructor Craig. I think Mr. Young and Mr. Quincy may still be there. Mr. Harry. Make sure you're listening to your instructors. All right, when you get your study guide and they start pointing you through things through the study guide, they're going to tell you, number one, study that pre-trip. There's like I can't remember the number, 120, 150 parts on the truck that you have to go over on that pre-trip. So I could be exaggerating a little bit, but it was a lot. Let's just put it like that. Make sure that you are studying that pre-trip, like know it. you know, it's already scripted for you. All you have to do is know where the parts are and regurgitate the information that's in that book. That's it. All right. Memorization, repetitiveness. You know, when you first, you know, once you're out of the classroom and you're on the you're in the yard, the first thing that you're going to do before the instructors will let you even touch the trucks is pre-trip. Test each other. You know I went through with two of my classmates, and we started off with about 6 that were actually staying together and doing a pre-trip, and then it was like 3 of us that were consistently doing it. And we were testing each other and correcting each other, like, hey, you missed this, or you forgot to say that, or you didn't point to this part. Like, we were testing each other. And on the day that it came for us to do our pre-trips, I think one of my classmates, I don't think she missed anything. I missed 2 or 3, and I think one of my other classmates might have missed maybe the same, like 2 or 3. But we were on it, and our instructor, I remember my grader, or my evaluator, instructor Craig, he looked at me and he said, thank you. And I was like, what do you mean thank you? I should be thanking you. And he was like, no, thank you, because I can tell you studied. Like, I went through it, and I mean, instructor Craig was just kind of like standing there. He was walking with me, but he was kind of like standing there. It looked like he wanted to pop out a cigarette and smoke it, just because I was rolling right through it. So study. When you're in the classroom and instructor Mark gives you overnight assignments to do, make sure you're doing the overnight assignments. It's just too easy. The answers are there in the book. It's too easy to do. You go over it the next day in class. Don't be the one that's doing your homework, while, when you get to class in the morning. Don't do that. Like, that's just, these instructors are there to teach you and help you get your CDL, and so you can move on to the next phase of getting on the mentor truck. And then your mentor is there, to teach you the ways of the life of a truck driver. And then you go solo or you go teams. You test out at your terminal, and you go solo, or you do teams, or local, dedicated, regional, over the road, whatever your plan is. But the first step is to get through the course itself, the academy. And if you can't get through the academy, well, it's a wrap. So that course is somewhere between $6,000 and $7,000. You're not paying anything up front. You give Swift 12 months, and your debt is paid after you come out the academy. And I believe it may go in with your mentor, but I think it's just after you come out the academy, because once you come out the academy, you get your driver code and you're hired. So you give Swift 12 months, and then you can decide, hey, I want to stay, or I want to go and seek out some other opportunities in truck driving. So number one thing, pay attention, listen, do your homework, listen, and be safe in the yard, when you go out on the road, and definitely when you're quote unquote off duty. Right? Just be safe. Because if you're practicing safety there all the time, you'll be practicing safety when you get on your own truck, or you go teams, or whatever you decide to do. So once you, and I'm pretty sure I've stated this in another video, but once you get hired, if Miss Debbie is still there, she's going to give you a load of books, right? Now, I'm not saying you got to memorize those books, because a lot of those books are thick, but you need to go through them. You need to read every now and then, and get familiar with those books, because some of those books are laws, some of those are regulations that we have to abide by, FMCSA regulations that we as truck drivers have to abide by. And once you start driving on your own, and when you get out there with your mentor, you'll start to get to know, what is more expected of you, or what you should be doing. Like, again, I drive the Northeast Regional account, and I'm anywhere from Maryland on up, and so far as far west as Ohio. I think I got a load to Illinois, but it got canceled. Whatever. But anyway, so I understand what's expected of me in the Northeast regional account. And understand this, that there's going to be, I had one mentor that I had to fire. I had two great, my second and third mentors were awesome. Again, the only reason I lost my second mentor is because he got put on medical hold. He had to take care of some things. Excuse me. And Swift wouldn't let me wait for him to get his medical done. So they put me on my third mentor. And my third mentor was great as well. Your mentors, as hard as they try, they cannot teach you everything. There are just some things that you're going to have to learn yourself. And that's just, it's not that they don't, not that to say that they don't want to teach you. Sometimes they just, being a human being, you forget. And I understand that. But there are lots of YouTube videos out here that will teach you the correct way to do something. And as long as I've been driving a truck so far, which has only been roughly a year and some change, I've never had to slide my fifth wheel. Well, I came up on a few loads out of Floor and Decor that were over, and I went and I had it, what's called reworked. So they either move some items around within the trailer, or they remove some weight. But just now, I went over because I realized that some of my loads on my steers were averaging around 11,080, 11,200 on the steer. So but they were heavy on the drives, and I mean it wasn't like a lot. So I got an empty trailer, hooked up to an empty trailer, and I taught myself how to slide my fifth wheel, and it was really easy. Like I'm going to be honest, I was kind of dreading it. Like, I hope I don't slam my truck into, the end of the fifth wheel bracket or anything or the platform. I hope I don't slam it. It was very easy. It's hard when you have weight on it. Some trucks, like my truck, when it's a lot of weight on that fifth wheel, that mechanism is not moving. But I got an empty trailer. I went and I lowered my landing gear, unlocked my fifth wheel, and bam, moved it. And it took me just a few minutes. And once I got it to where I wanted to go, it was a little bit past. It's kind of like sliding your tandems. Once you get it kind of close to where he goes, but they're not in the hole, then I deactivated the fifth wheel lock button and slid it, and bam, I felt it lock into place. Got out and looked. It was good to go. So, that's just an example of some things that you may have to teach yourself. My mentors taught me how to slide tandems a little bit, but a lot of our loads weren't heavy. I think the heaviest loads that I had was maybe when I went on my third mentor, and we were running from Mississippi to Cedar City, Utah, hauling copper. So of course, those loads were pretty heavy, but I learned a lot. I learned how to slide those tandems. And it was great. I even made it easier for myself, and I went and bought a tandem stopper. And if you want to know what a tandem stopper is, hit me up on my email, and I'll take a picture of it, and you can get it off of Amazon. Excuse me. And they save me time when it comes to slide my tandems. But getting back to what this video is really about, it was really about what to expect at the academy and what should you do. Like I said, I can't say it enough. Be safe, listen to your instructors, study, and pay attention, especially when you start driving in the yard, because there's going to be people walking around in that yard. There's going to be other vehicles moving, and I'm talking about the instructors' vans, other trucks moving in and out, and at the Richmond facility, even the yard jockeys, they come in and they have to move trailers. So you have to be aware of your surroundings when you're doing it. And I mean, being aware of your surroundings is no different than being aware of your surroundings when you're in your own POV, your own personal vehicle. It's, know what's around you. Don't move if it's unsafe. Look around. And hopefully you'll have classmates that will help you out and get you, help keep you safe, because as we say in the Army, everybody's a safety officer. So, out there, everybody is a safety officer. If you see an unsafe act, say something. Try to stop the driver, flag the driver down, or whoever, or whatever the unsafe act is. But those are the number one things. So I am super stoked to get back on the road, get these miles, and, do what we do. Keep America stocked. So that is it for the Ghost Rider. I'm going to go home, and my truck is ready to go for Monday. So I'm going to go home and spend some time with the family and be ready to rock and roll at 7 in the morning on Monday. So y'all be safe. Remember, especially for those of us who are in areas where there was lots and lots of snow, if it's unsafe to drive, find a place to shut down, or just don't drive at all. That load is not worth your life. You have family to go home to. You have loved ones to go home to. That is the most important stop, is going home. So with that being said, I'm about to make my most important stop, and I'm going home. So congratulations to those who have graduated, not just the Richmond Academy, but any academy within the last few months. Vantane, again, those are my tips. If you want to hit me up, I will leave my email address in the description of this video. And, feel free to hit me up if you got questions. If there's some things that I can help you out with, I will help you out with. The other and final recommendation that I have is look at some of my videos, if you haven't already. I talk about the academy, what to expect. Some things may have changed from when I was there, November 19 to January 20. Whatever updates there are, I'm sure the instructors at the academy will help you out. So that's it in a nutshell. So, Ghost Rider, I'm about to ride out. Y'all be good.